Hello, it's me, Daisy, and I'm back at it again. I'm here trying to learn some Python and learn coding in general. It's going great so far. We're back on freecodecamp.com or .org, freecodecamp.org actually. It is 4:22 a.m. I didn't even try to get to bed early today. There's a lot of stuff going on, and I just stayed up a lot, and really, there's always more time to fix my sleep schedule, so I don't need to rush into that. I just need to actually start doing more coding and stuff. And at this rate I won't have a lot of time because I gotta at least go to bed by 5. And I was spending a lot of time messing with my mic gain because I'm trying to find a good volume, but when the gain is up too high, I'm too quiet most of the time, but if the gain is too high, then it starts to sound weird. And I think ideally I should just have 0 gain, and I should just start talking a bit louder. I think that would be best. But until then, right now I kept turning it up and down, and then I settled on putting it right back where it was before. I think it's at 7 decibels right now. But yeah, I should work on just maybe talking louder. But I don't know, I don't have a lot of... When I'm doing this stuff, I'm kind of lower energy when I talk. I can't be it's hard to be at a high volume. But I'll try to be conscious of it and speak just a bit louder. And then over time I can maybe I can lower my my gain a bit. Maybe I should just look at my mic indicator, see how high it's getting, and then try to keep it in that same place with the lower gain. I don't know. I should just get to coding. Half the time I just talk to procrastinate. Yeah. And I haven't been tired most of the night, but I just took a melatonin before I sat down, so oh, that's satisfying. This whole thing is cleared. So yeah, if I start getting sleepy, then that's a good thing, and I'll just hop off. But I gotta get started with these loops and sequences. I don't know if I'll make it to the workshop before I fall asleep. But yeah, I like that. I like how all of our progress, being able to see all the progress. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to read. Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna try to read it as quick as possible, but I'm not gonna force myself to stay up because I've already stayed up so late. Oh, now I'm yawning. I have not yawned at all night until just now. It's always, I think it's a Pavlov. It really is just it's a Pavlovian response. I just, as soon as I sit down and start coding, I didn't even read anything yet or start learning anything. I just immediately just got tired and started yawning. It'd be pretty embarrassing if this video was only 10 minutes though, so I gotta do something. 1 second. Okay, so we're going to learn about lists, tuples, and ranges, which are 3 basic sequence types used in Python. We learned a bit about these. The list data type is an ordered sequence of elements that can be comprised of strings, numbers, or even other lists. Lists are immutable and use zero-based indexing, meaning the first element of the list is index 0. Yep, there's the syntax. Oh boy. Jeez, but I don't want these videos to just be filled with yawns. That's just embarrassing and not very good content creator etiquette. I don't know if this counts as content creation because I'm kind of just doing this for me. But, it is technically creating content. I don't know. Okay, to access an element from the cities list, you can reference its index number in the sequence. Here's an example of accessing the first element of the cities list. Man, the whole reason I turned up my gain was so that I didn't have to lean into the mic so much and be so close to it. But now Now I'm consciously trying to get closer to the mic so that I don't have to have my gain as high. It really is it's a snake eating its own tail or something. Okay. To access an element from the cities list, you can reference its index number in the sequence. Oh, so I guess that's... Okay, so this is stuff we've, like, learned already. Although I guess we haven't, like, used it in a project or a workshop or anything. But we have seen this in other tutorials. Yeah, and they already told us about, like, negative indexing and how you can, like, reverse things. I just thought about, I learned something last night, or yesterday, that I can't really remember now, but it was, it's like I used like an F string or something to solve an issue with the RPG maker function, or the RPG character creator function, and then it turns out that that wasn't what I was supposed to do. Wait, actually, I want to look that up really quick before I forget. Because it was something in the review. Actually, that's what's convenient about the review. Oh, I just remembered how I did the quiz last night and thought I failed it because I was super tired and guessed. Well, I didn't guess, but I was very uncertain with a lot of the answers. And then it turned out that I got a perfect score. So I'm gonna try to ride the high of that. Oh yeah, this was it. I'm gonna try to... What was I saying a second ago? I'm gonna try to be... I'm gonna try to ride the high of that, the confidence of acing that quiz. But yeah, I used the new line syntax, a \n, when I think they intended for me to use this triple quote thing. I'm glad I looked at this. I didn't think I'd find it so fast. But yeah, that's I mean, I found my own way. They both work, but this was the one that they had showed me, and they haven't shown us the \n, so it's safe to assume they didn't mean for me to use it. Okay. Jeez, and you know something, like the other night, yesterday, I was like super sleepy and yawning a whole bunch while trying to do stuff, and then when I logged off and I like laid down, I suddenly wasn't nearly as tired. I thought I would like pass out as soon as my head hit the pillow, but I was like up for a bit. That's gotta be some weird psychological thing. And anyway, I'm like stressing about my volume all the time now. Really, I gotta focus. I can hardly think. Oh my goodness gracious, really. Yeah, okay, I'm definitely gonna have to call this one early. But that's good. I really didn't want to stay up past 5. I keep on doing that. It's a real bad habit. Okay, so -1 is how we find the last element. That's interesting because that always confuses me, because 1 is not the beginning, 0 is the beginning. But there's no such thing as -0. If there was, then -0 would probably be how you access the last thing in the list. But since that doesn't exist, it has to be -1, which it's just like, it's intuitive in a sense, but kind of not intuitive. I don't really know, man. Oh, Nelly. Okay. So we'll use the list constructor to convert an iterable table into a list. Oh, okay. So, an iterable into a list, not an iterable table. Oh yeah, so strings can be iterated through, and a list can be iterated through. So I guess that means that the string is an iterable. And it says that here. Okay. An iterable is a special... I like that I keep doing that I like figure something out for myself, kind of, and then it immediately explains it. That's happened so many times since we started doing this, since I began my little coding journey. What are we on now? Day 15? Yeah, day 15. It's pretty good. It's been a couple weeks. I feel like I've learned a lot for 2 weeks. And a lot of that time I didn't even spend on free code camp. And most of the nights now, well, not most, but a bunch of the nights I've like hardly devoted any time. Anyway. Oh, I'm real sorry about yawning a whole bunch. That's actually, I'm going to try and use that for motivation. I should start doing this earlier so that I'm not yawning into the mic the entire time. I could yawn away from the mic, but then I would just be quiet for a second, and that would be worse. So I kind of, every time I do yawn, I feel the need to yawn into the mic. So sorry about that. But whatever, it is what it is, yo. Gotta do what you gotta do. Sometimes you gotta yawn into a mic. Okay. An iterable is a special type of object that can be looped over one item at a time. You will learn more about loops in Python later on. To get the total number of elements in a list, you can use the len function like this. So that's just like the len for strings. If you want to update a value at a particular index, you can do something like this. Oh, I see. It's switched out Python for JavaScript. Not sure I agree with that. I like that Python, Java, C++, Rust, and JavaScript. It's a good set. It's a good set of languages. I feel like Java gets a lot of crap, but I don't know. I always wanted to learn Java. Anyway, since lists are mutable, you can update any element in the list as long as you pass a valid index number. If you pass an index, either positive or negative, that is out of bounds, then you'll receive an index error. Oh, that's interesting that the index error is in these three quotes. I don't know if errors normally are, or if they're just using that to show this in this little example thing. Because that's pretty strange if that's what they're doing. If you want to remove, you can use the del keyword. Del developer1. Okay. Sheesh. Sometimes it's helpful to check if an element is inside the list. To do that, you can use the in keyword like this. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to make it very far in this. I should just go to bed, like, real quick. I'm going to finish this one thing and go to bed. And odds are I'm going to have to review this later so I can do the lab. Whatever lab is next. I gotta, like, double time it tomorrow. Because, yeah, my last, like, several sessions were, like 40 minutes at most. Oh, good grief. Yeah, this is my own fault. Well, I gotta do something. I mean, I gotta read this to at least get some progress. But seriously, if I was less tired, I'd be breathing. I would be breezing through this if I were, a bit less tired. Maybe I shouldn't have fiddled around with my mic so much before this. Oh well. Okay, we use the in keyword, rust in, and that just returns a boolean. Sometimes it is common to have lists nested inside of other lists like this. What do you mean sometimes it is common? Is it common or is it not? Because sometimes means it's not common. Maybe sometimes it is common means, even though that is a contradiction, it actually kind of makes sense. Like, in certain environments, it's common to do that. Like, because in sometimes Python is used for, like, cybersecurity, but other times it's used for AI. So maybe they're saying in, like, or, like, you know, sometimes it's used for web development. So they're like, it might be common, depending on what you're using it for. Anyway, I always, like, am, like, very critical of this tutorial itself. Which I have no right to be. Not only is it very useful to me, but it's not like I could make a better tutorial. I'm just so vocally, like, critical. Okay. In this example, we have one nested list containing 3 popular programming languages. To access the nested list, you need to access using index 2, since lists are 0-based indexed. What? That totally screwed me up. I am very sleepy, because 2 is technically the third thing, and then it just shows the whole list. To access the second language from that nested list, you will need to access using index 1 like this. Okay, so you just do that, and then that. Another common technique with lists is unpacking values. There's a lot to unpack there. Huh. Unpacking values from a list is a technique used to assign values from a list to new variables. Here's an example of unpacking a developer list into new variables called name, age, and job. What? Wait, so okay. Unpacking values. Unpacking values from a list is a technique used to assign values from a list to new variables. Here's an example of unpacking a developer into new variables name, age, and job. So, unpacking. I see. So you're making it so like when you print the variable name, it prints Alice because that's the first thing there. And when you print the variable age, it does 34. So this, I wonder if it needs to be done in this order, where like the name of the list comes after the assignment operator. Like you make the list by creating the variable name and then the assignment, and then you assign the list. But then when you put 3 variable names and then do the assignment operator and then the original variable like that. Okay. If you need to collect any remaining elements from a list, you can use the asterisk operator like this. Name, rest. Wait, so if you use the asterisk, it just takes the last bit of it and makes it into its own list? Okay. Okay, and it goes before. As if it's like a footnote or something. If the number is of variables on the left, you'll just get a whole value error. Okay, so name, age, job, city. It's too many. Not enough values to unpack. Expected 4. Got 3. The last concept we will look at is the slice operator. Similar to strings, you can access portions of a list by using the slice operator like this. In this example, the start index is 1 since that points to the second item in the list. Then we use the slice operator followed by index at 4, which includes everything up to but not including the item at the index. So brownies and cake both got cut off by this slice. They sliced off the cake and sliced the brownies. Another thing you can do with the slice operator is specify a step interval which determines how to increment between the indices. Let's say you had a list of numbers like this. If you wanted to extract a list of just 7 numbers, you can use the slice operator like this. I just said 7 numbers, it's even numbers. Just even numbers. Oh, so it is just like with strings. So it's like 1... Well, wait, wouldn't you start with 0? Oh, wait, this is 2, 4, 6. Okay, never mind. You skip the 1, which is 0. Start at 2. Oh, that messed my brain up because they both start. They both start with 1. Okay, I gotta answer these questions and I'm going to bed. The first even number is at index 1, so that will start the index. Since we want to go through the end of the list, then we omit the end index. Lastly, okay, so it's the middle part's gone. Lastly, we specify 2 for the optional step interval, so only increment 2 instead of the default 1. Lists are useful and flexible data structure that you will use a lot in your Python programs. In the next lesson, you will learn about common methods you can use with lists. Alright, there's 2-based, there's 0-based, indexed. They're only inside of classes, they're rarely used. Okay, these are 0 indexed. Which of the following is the correct way to access the second element in the list? Oh, trick question. City is 1. Not much of a trick though. Which of the following is the correct way to access the second element from the end? -2. Alright, sweet. Okay, that's good enough. I think I did everything I came out here to do. We'll start with what are some common methods used for lists after I get some sleep and I pop back in tomorrow. I hope you'll join me once again on this amazing journey into the unknown and amazing worlds of coding. Yeah. gotta get some freaking sleep. Okay. Enjoy your day and your night. Enjoy your life. Bye bye.